Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbanallahu wa ni'mal wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Assalamu alaikum. Juma Mubarak to our all Muslim brothers and sisters. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. This morning, I want to talk about a very crucial thing, rent. A lot of young people are complaining about rent, and we do know that one of the promises that was made to Ghanaians as part of the 2020 election campaign was about providing rent for working young people in this country. So we're going to pay for their rent. We have still not heard anything. 2021 has come and gone. 2022 is about ending. 2 more years to end the full tenure. And we have not been told when the rent of young people will be paid. And rent is biting so hard that a lot of young people now are beginning to purge and become friends by force, even when they don't want to be friends. So I see Prince Nyako, because I can't afford the full rent, he can afford half, I can afford half. We're teaming up together so that we're able to afford the rent. And as if that's not enough, security services are now beginning to cry for their rent because deep-throated sources within the Ghana Prison Service and the Ghana Fire Service have told me about how their rent allowance has not been paid. And you know that's a provision of law. There's a whole CI that sets up the council and everything else. And it is in there that 20% of their basic salary should be their rent allowance. Since we entered 2022, the monies have not come. And this is supposed to be on a monthly basis. Sometimes they are even paid quarterly, I'm told. But for 2022, the monies for Ghana Fire Service and then the Ghana Prison Service have not come. Now here I am wondering why other security services have gotten theirs, but there seems to be some form of discrimination against prison officers and fire service officers in respect of their rent allowance, which is 20% of their basic. So what has our Prisons Council been doing since 2022 started? And you know, landlords are beginning to chase them and harass them and threaten them with ejection notices. So you work as a fireman. Whenever there is pressure, they call you. You work as a prisons officer. Whenever there is a problem, they call you. You are managing people who are considered dangerous to society. And yet you have no place to lay your head. And even where you have a place to lay your head, your morale is dampened every single day. So where is the rent? Because as for that one, they are not a money-making venture. They don't make money. Maybe the prison service does because maybe they get people to go and weed and then they get something coming in. But what about the fire service? So the rent that is due them is also not being given to them. Good morning to you, Vice President Dr. Baumia. You are the chairman of the Prisons Council. Oliver, pull the picture up of the composition of the Prisons Council. Let me say good morning to them one by one. And while you pull up that picture, Oliver, I also have it on good information that even for the prison service, the contagious disease allowance, which is also 10% of their basic salary, has not been paid. The Ankafo Contagious Disease Prison used to be the only one. Now nearly every single prison facility in this country manages HIV, leprosy, all those things. So one would have thought that when COVID-19 came, they would have had the opportunity to have regularized it. But no. I have had a chance to go to the Insawan prisons. I have seen their infirmary. And I say for a service that is as old as the prison service is, when we were announcing Agenda 111, we could have at least given them 1 like we gave the police. We could have at least given fire service 1 like we gave the police. The military has its own hospital. The police has its own hospital. Prisons and fire service, they are lie. And to even compound it, these senior prisons officers tell me that since Professor Mills's time, they have not had vehicles. And sometimes they have had to depend on either a small vehicle or taxis or trotros or small minibuses to even convey prisoners to court. or inmates to court and back suspects. Why? You don't pay their rent. They are demoralized. Their children look like unwanted Ghanaians. Then they don't have contagious disease allowance. So what should they do? What should they do? Because you have not provided accommodation for them. You have made them go to hire people's things. Now they are living in people's homes. They are not able to pay the rent. And then here we are now, keeping their morale dampened. Implications on national security. If they start getting influenced, we are in trouble. And it's not as if we haven't been able to pay others. We have paid for other services. So why not the prison service and the fire service? That's the question I'm asking this morning. Common rent, we can't pay. Common rent, and it's in the law. Common rent, we can't pay. Prison Service Council, Most Reverend Peter Yeluzome Antre, Chairman, good morning. Mr. Ambrose Derry, Minister for Interior, good morning. Mr. Isaac Ejiri, Director General of Prisons, good morning. Dr. Franz Rebo, Ghana Medical Association, good morning. Mr. Vincent Kizito Bay, U.S. Esquire, good morning. Mrs. Yvonne Atakra Bobisa, Minister of Attorney General Justice Department, good morning. Reverend Dr. Mrs. Asari, Department of Social Welfare, good morning. Reverend Dr. G.K. Fayose, Christian Council of Ghana, good morning. With Perura Mahama Abdullahi, General Paul II, National House of Chiefs, good morning. Honorable Ophelia Hayford Mensah, President Nominees, good morning. Mrs. Sarah Mary Femi Bedietuo Asante, good morning. DDP Gloria Sando, Rep, Senior Prison Officers, good morning. CO Al Hassan Koka, Rep, Junior Officers, good morning. It is your job to ensure that these prison officers are kept happy. How they manage to feed prisoners with 1 CD 80 pesos for 3 times in a day is a miracle. Then now they have to think about where they have to sleep with their families. And their rent are not paid. And the landlord, you should see how some of the landlords talk down at them as if they are not part of us. But they are rendering a service. Mind you, they pay monies to get enlisted. 100 Ghana and 50 Ghana, 80 Ghana to buy forms. They run their own medicals. So what's going on? Can't we pay the rent? Good morning.